All right, it's 5:35, so I think we might as well begin now. Um, yeah, first of all, everyone, welcome. Thanks for coming to this little talk on volunteering, how to volunteer, and I guess some kind of experiences and I guess some details on that. So we have two guest speakers today. Olivia will be doing the main presentation, and then Jessica will step in if we have time to give a few remarks of her own volunteering experiences. But yeah, as you may or may not know, this Zoom meeting is being recorded. Yeah, I just want to let you guys know that because you might have seen like a prompt letting you know that the Zoom meeting is being recorded. But yeah, we're doing that so we can post it. But I guess we can get into introductions. First of all, hello, my name is Anderson. I'll be kind of the host of this like session. I'm the one running it, but the speakers are listed here, Olivia and Jessica. But yeah, I guess you guys want to introduce yourself? Let's go with Olivia first. Anything you want to say to introduce yourself?
Okay, hi, I'm Olivia, and I'm currently a freshman at the University of Illinois.
All right, and now Jessica.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I'm a senior at Detroit Country Day School in Michigan.
All right, nice. Basically they'll be kind of going over, like I said, their volunteering experiences and some information on volunteering and how to do so. Yeah, first of all, I'll go over the agenda for today. Oops, sorry. But basically, the first part is going to be the introduction, which we've just done. Next part will be Olivia's presentation, and again, if we have time, which we might, we'll have Jessica talk about some of her own volunteering experiences, and then third is the Q&A, and then after that, that'll be it. So, once again, I would suggest holding your questions until the end of the session. That way we won't interrupt anything, and we have enough time to go through everything. But yeah, thank you all for being here, and I guess we might as well get started, right? So, Olivia, I know you probably aren't able to share right now. I gotta change that. Yeah, okay. So I'll stop sharing, and you should be able to share. But, all right, there we go. All right, perfect.
Okay, are you able to see the presentation?
Yeah, we are now. It's good.
Wait, sorry, I can't hear anything on my end right now.
Oh, really? Okay. Uh, hmm. Are you still unable to hear? Looks like they are not able to hear. That's odd.
Wait, sorry, could you try saying something one more time? Because I don't think I
Yeah,
could
can
hear
you hear?
anything.
Hello? Hi. That's interesting.
Okay, I think it should still be okay. But so today I will be talking about volunteering, like Anderson had previously introduced, and then I'll also be talking about some of the benefits of volunteering, and so I'll mainly be going over some organizations that I've personally been involved in, and then towards the end I'll be talking about different ways that you can start volunteering. So I first wanted to go over why volunteering is important, because typically when people think about volunteering, they only think about the first point, which is either giving back to your local community or helping underserved communities. But you can also build a lot of really meaningful relationships through this. And I've experienced this because I've made a lot of friends through volunteering. And then I also bring my friends to different events as well. And then you're also able to step outside of your comfort zone and gain different experiences. So before I started volunteering, I was a really introverted person. And then afterwards, I became more outgoing because you're constantly talking with and working with other people. And then this is related to the previous point, but volunteering can also broaden your perspective because you're able to gain all of these new experiences. And then it can also be beneficial for both your physical and mental health. So there have been studies that show lower mortality rates for people who volunteer compared to those who don't. And then volunteering has also been shown to reduce stress and release dopamine because the act of volunteering is typically really rewarding because you can usually see the difference that you're making right in front of you. And then from volunteering, you're also able to gain valuable skills that are widely applicable for opportunities like internships or future jobs, or even something as simple as working in a group project. Because with volunteering, you learn about leadership, collaboration, communication, and a bunch of other skills. And it also teaches you about selflessness, which is probably the main point, and this can help you grow into a better person. So next, I just wanted to show a short video from Feed My Starving Children. And this just gives a few people's perspective on what volunteering means to them.
I think volunteering is important because you need to show that you can give back to the community and just lend a helping hand to help those who are maybe less fortunate out.
Well, I think it's important to give back to your community. If we all take, then what's left?
I think it's important because it gives you a sense that you're a part of something and it makes you feel more connected.
I guess it would create a better sense of community, people being less selfish.
I think volunteering is important because you can make a difference in other people's lives, and in return, like, you think you're doing something so great for someone, and then in return you just get so much satisfaction and reward from it.
It shows people that you don't have to always want money.
You know, a lot of people are blessed with a lot of different gifts and material things, and I think it believes that we should share that with others.
It's really nice to just give back and help others out.
And I think it's one of the reasons why we've been put on this planet, to help other people.
I think people think it's too hard and they think it's going to take up a lot of their time, but I don't really think it does.
If you really sit down and analyze it, I think we could all make time to do something like this.
Otherwise, you're just sitting on the couch and watching TV, so you might as well get out.
You could volunteer with just a small portion of maybe lending a little bit of time, a little bit of money, whatever it may be, in different forms.
It makes me feel like I'm making a worthwhile contribution to society.
It just more sense of purpose and just showing that you're out there to help other people.
It made me feel very gratified. It made me feel that I was doing something worthwhile.
It takes away the attention from yourself, puts it on another person.
Not because you're looking, you know, for some kind of joy or something for yourself, but it just kind of happens that way, that you get something out of return of volunteering.
It's kind of like exercising. Once you do it, you're just like, oh, I feel good. And it's kind of neat because you get to meet so many cool people that do it too, and it's just a good community.
There's a lot of studies that have been done. People that volunteer and help others, you live longer actually. It's good for your heart, it's good for your mind, it's good for your spirit. You're welcome.
That it?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay, so that video just kind of goes to show that everyone takes away something different from volunteering, and it just all depends on your perspective, but it's usually positive experiences and memories. And now I'm going to talk about some of my own experiences and things that I've been involved in the past and right now. So the first one I wanted to go over is Best Buddies, and this isn't necessarily centered around volunteering, but this is heavily related to being involved in your community. And Best Buddies is an international nonprofit organization that serves individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So within their mission statement, there are 4 pillars, which are one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. So within each of these pillars, there are different opportunities for you to get involved and help. And I was mainly involved in the one-to-one friendships because there was already a Best Buddies chapter established at my high school. And if you don't have one established near you, it's really easy to set one up. But from my experiences, I was involved in a buddy family, or that's what we called them at my high school, which is basically when there would be one buddy, which is a student with an intellectual or developmental disability, and then about 3 to 4 peers. And my freshman and sophomore year, I was an associate buddy, which meant that I wasn't too heavily involved in the club, but I would go to the monthly meetings, and then every month we would also schedule different hangout events. So some of these included going bowling or going to get pizza or going to the movies. There was a lot of freedom with what you could do for these hangouts. And then from upperclassmen who were my peer buddies, they had encouraged and inspired me to become a peer buddy who was able to build more of that one-on-one friendship with their buddy. And then I also really wanted to take on a larger role my senior year because I had a lot of ideas that I thought I could implement into the organization to make it better. So then in the middle of my junior year, I had applied to be the chapter president, and I ended up getting that role. So during my senior year, it was really nice because I was able to lead both the executive and general chapter meetings. And then starting my senior year, Best Buddies Illinois also implemented the disability awareness curriculum. So each month I would teach a different topic from the disability awareness curriculum, and some of these topics included respectful communication, the disability rights movement, and inclusion. And then basically I found this to be an extremely valuable experience because throughout the past 4 years in high school, I kind of saw how my high school community began to become more inclusive of people with intellectual or developmental disabilities. And this was just a really great community because I made a bunch of friends through Best Buddies, and it really taught me a lot about leadership and communication. And then this next video, I feel like is just a really good example of that. And this is made by Best Buddies International.
Hey Amber, breakfast is ready. I'll catch up with you later.
Allie seems nice.
Hello?
Allie, is there any way I could take Amber bowling with me on Friday?
Yes. Yes, she can go bowling on Friday.
Is it okay if we stay on a little bit longer?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Allie. And tell Amber I love her.
So I feel like this video does a really great job showing just how big of an impact your small actions can have through being involved in organizations like Best Buddies and just being involved in your community through volunteering as well. And then next, there's Buddy Up for Life, and this is an organization that specifically serves individuals with Down syndrome to promote physical and personal growth. So in the beginning, when I was first involved, it was just Buddy Up Tennis, and basically I would be motivating and guiding the athletes through tennis drills and activities. And then during the pandemic, since we could no longer have these tennis practices, Buddy Up Connections began. And this is a program that is similar to what Best Buddies does with the one-to-one friendships. And then I was also recommended to be the connections facilitator, which meant that I was creating these friendship pairings for the regional chapter of Buddy Up Connections. And then with these friendship pairings, people were able to do different activities like go on picnics or play tennis or make crafts. So with me and my buddy, we went to play tennis a few times, and then other times we were just hanging out over FaceTime and just talking. And I really appreciated being involved in Buddy Up Connections because this was a really great way for me to stay connected to volunteering throughout the pandemic. And then Illini Fighting Alzheimer's is an organization that's at my university. And this organization has the goal of raising awareness on the disease and supporting continued efforts to find a cure. So we mainly work with a local assisted living facility, and we host events for the residents. So we have bingo on Monday evenings, and then I'm usually going to the coffee and donuts event on Sunday mornings. So this is where we just serve the residents coffee and donuts, and this is a great time for them to talk with each other. And we also sit down with the residents, and it's really great to hear about their experiences, and they give a lot of helpful advice to all of the volunteers. And then we also have the Walk to End Alzheimer's, which is a local event, but there are different ones of these all across the country. And then we also invite individuals currently involved in research related to Alzheimer's to be guest speakers, because this is really great for educating students on both research opportunities and advancements in the field. And then the last one that I have is Letters Against Isolation. So this is a remote volunteering opportunity, so anyone is able to get involved, and it's really simple. And this is an organization that aims to address senior loneliness caused by the pandemic. So to sign up, you just sign up on the website, and after that, you'll receive an email to a specific portal where you end up tracking all of your letters. And on this website, there's also different blog posts with examples of letters, which I also have on the slide here. And then if you're not sure what to write in your letter, there's also posts that include things that you could write about and things that you should avoid writing about. And then through the portal, you can pick where you would like to send your letters to. So currently they send letters to seniors in the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, and Israel. And there's overall just a lot of flexibility with the types of letters that you can send, and you can really be creative with it. So it doesn't have to be a traditional letter. If you look on the website, there's a lot of different examples of different things that people have done. But this is a really great way. It's a low pressure environment to start volunteering if you're not sure where to start. And then now I'm going to move on to other opportunities that you can consider if you want to start volunteering. So the first one is homeless shelters in your area. I know I've had a few friends who volunteered at homeless shelters in the past, and they've really enjoyed it, and it's easy to sign up and you don't need many qualifications. Or you can go to United Nations Volunteers. So here you can find a bunch of unique online and in-person assignments. So if you're able to do in-person assignments, this is a great opportunity. You could travel somewhere and volunteer, or if you're not able to do that, anyone could really do an online assignment. And then there's also Translators Without Borders, which is a great way to apply your knowledge and skill if you know more than one language. And this could also be a very impressive experience to have on your resume because it's a way for you to show that you're using your skills in a positive way. And then there's also Volunteer Match, which is a website that has a bunch of different volunteering opportunities, both virtual and in your area. And they're organized into different categories. So I feel like anyone could really find something that fits them. So some of the categories that they have on the website are advocacy and human rights, arts and culture, and health and medicine. And you're really able to pick either something within your interests, or you can explore to other categories and see what else you might be interested in. Right, so that is all I have for today. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Olivia. That was a great presentation. Also, yeah, I really like those videos. So real quick, I was going to type in some of the links so you guys can actually like visit them for more information on these different volunteering opportunities. So I've typed out some of them here. I think I'm still missing a couple, but I've got I got some. So here, basically, I posted links to some information to the websites that you can visit. If you feel like you want to if you want to participate, or if you want to look at it for more information. Yeah, you got some links there. I think there might be a couple that I missed. No, I didn't. Good. So basically, yeah, volunteering is pretty important, as we can see, and it has a large impact. So it's always good to do. Yeah, hopefully you guys decide to do that. So since we still have a good amount of time, I think before we move on to the Q&A, maybe we could have Jessica present some of their remarks on like their own volunteering experiences, because I know you have done some. So I mean, yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so actually, as I was listening to Olivia's presentation, I think my two main volunteering things I've done are really similar. So I hope it's not too repetitive. But back in my sophomore year of high school, I started working with Angel's Place, which is a nonprofit organization located in Michigan, and they provide homes and like a loving community to those with developmental disabilities. I think we have like 9 homes scattered around like Metro Detroit. So there's like, I think about 5 to 6 elders who live together, and there's usually, I think, 2 nurses within each house. So you can you can go to their house directly, or you can go to there's an office where you can meet them, and there's like spaces dedicated for events and all that. I was specifically on Angel's Place Youth Council, so we did a lot of events with them. We did like sport events in the summer. We did like arts and crafts, and we would bring them treats for Valentine's Day or like St. Patrick's Day. We would cook with them in their homes, and we would shovel snow and like rake their leaves. So we would meet about once a month. There was about like 6 of us, and we would kind of just discuss what we wanted to do this month for Angel's Place and all the fun things we could do for the residents. My second one is called Sending Sunshine. It's kind of like what Olivia talked about with hers, and like sending cards to those who were feeling really isolated during the pandemic. So I think it's very similar. Sending Sunshine is a Canadian nonprofit, so they only send cards within Canada. So I think I found them through TikTok, but you just like write cards for them, and then they give you a shipping address, and you kind of send them to them, and they'll bring them to residents I think it's in Toronto. That's mainly where they just send them to. So those were like the 2 main volunteering things I did. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Before we move on to Q&A, I'd like to ask, well, this is kind of a question, but what did you find fulfilling about, what do you guys both find fulfilling about volunteering, right? at least like on a personally for you?
Mm-hmm. I think just like meeting personally with Angel's Place, like meeting the residents, because like they're like my friends now because I see them so often, and I go to their homes, and like they remember me and I remember them, and we just talk about everything. So it's like really nice just to like talk with them, and like we're friends. So I think that's really nice.
Awesome. What about you, Olivia?
I think it's really cool how you can always see the impact that you're having on someone else, because especially with some of the programs that I did, like with Buddy Up for Life, when we had that whole Buddy Up Connections program during the pandemic, I had texts from parents saying how they were really grateful that we had that program for them, because it was a great way for everyone to just really get to meet new people, especially during the pandemic, and just make friends. And it's really great to just see how much of an impact that you're having on someone else.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Also, Jessica, you can stop sharing. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So, basically, those were their experiences in volunteering. And like I said, in the agenda, we are going to move on to the Q&A. It can be short, it can be long because we have a good amount of time. But if you guys had any questions saved up during presentations, now would be a good time. So does anyone have any questions for Olivia or Jessica on their volunteering? All right. Well, I mean, I guess it seems pretty clear that you guys, at least hopefully someone understood, or at least took something away from this. But if you guys have no other questions, then I guess that's really it then. I guess my personal question is, do you guys think this is like what is it, like a serious, because I know some of them are serious commitments that can last a while, but I guess, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, would this be something that you need to dedicate a lot of time into, or can you just kind of spend like maybe a day or two if it's a one-off kind of thing?
I think with the card one, that's like it doesn't require that much time because you can kind of pick and choose like when you want to write cards and do stuff. But I think with Angel's Place, since I'm on the youth council, there's definitely like a lot of requirements and like volunteering that we have to do within each month. So there's definitely like a lot more to do and like meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the type of volunteering that you're doing, because there are certain ones where it's like for Feed My Starving Children, you could just go there once. And then there's also the thing like Jessica was saying with the letters, where you can really choose how involved you want to be in it. But also something that I just want to add is typically with like a lot of different volunteering events, it doesn't really feel like a task if you're finding something that you really enjoy. It just feels like something that you're doing for fun. So it doesn't really, like in my mind, I don't really think that much about how long I'm spending on it, because especially with like Best Buddies or Buddy Up for Life, it just feels like I'm hanging out with my friends.
Awesome, cool. I mean, that kind of answers every question I've had. Also, I've heard that like, what is it, like colleges also, like, I don't want to think in this kind of aspect because volunteering should be done solely for like the purpose of, well, volunteering. But I've also heard that like colleges have like a specific, like, I don't know, volunteer hour requirement. So that is also to think about when you're choosing your volunteer program. But I think the best thing, like Olivia brought up, is to kind of just find one that doesn't feel like a task, right? Because that way you're at least able to enjoy it. But yeah, so hopefully that gives you guys something to think about. Over if you have any free time, like I don't know, during summer break, or even like a spring break, winter break, maybe pick up like a volunteering program and do it a couple times. But yeah, that's definitely something to think about. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening, and also thank you especially to our guest speakers Olivia and then Jessica for giving their presentations and their own experiences on volunteering. I think they kind of bring up good reasons and good incentives as to why you should volunteer. And I think it's pretty clear that there are a lot of different opportunities for people to volunteer. One that likely fits yours, whether that's like a local animal shelter or like, I don't know, maybe at like an elderly home or something like that. You can find a lot of different things to do. Yeah, I mean, as we know, there's a lot of good reason to do it. So, I guess that's kind of it for today. Thank you everyone for coming. If you have any other questions, please, you may stay behind and ask. But other than that,